Right, hello everyone and welcome to the Student Art Podcast. I'm your host Ross Baxter and today is episode 37 of the series. And by gosh, do we have an awesome guest for you. We've got a character artist, we have Alex on the show. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming on.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's super great being here with you. So yeah, excited to talk about myself.
You're welcome, man. Anytime. It's so cool having you on. Like this is the crazy thing as well. So before I even get into all the nitty gritty and stuff of the podcast, so I've been talking to Alex on Twitter and on the YouTube comments for I don't know, like last few months probably.
I mean, I think it's less. Maybe there's this thing, short time lapses of time.
Yeah.
Go super slow for me. Like when I start a week at work, it's like I'm stoked for the weekend.
Yeah.
But I look back and it's like, geez, we're in July already. like I don't know.
What's going on?
So I think it could well be a month or a month and a half, but it just felt like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I got
with it talking. So
yeah, I got a feeling it must be even longer because like that's the thing about everyone who's tuned into the podcast. So I was actually about to mention before we even kicked off the podcast, but the podcast is all about you guys, the artists, everyone who's listening, and it's all about like. It doesn't matter what skill set you are or like how many likes you have or your following or stuff. It's all about the stories. It's all about the creative journey. And like if you're new to the podcast, like the podcast is a weekly series where I bring on industry guests from all backgrounds and all industry fields, from concept art to character art, you name it. The podcast covers it. The podcast is actually live on 9 other platforms alongside YouTube. We're on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and last but not least, we've got Stitcher. No, but this is super cool because you're my second character artist on the show. And this is like an area, like, so I have a lot of passion for character. Like, so this actually used to be one of my passions. But before we even talk about it, we'll just talk about just tell us a wee bit about yourself. Like, it'll be great to get a wee introduction about yourself.
Sure. I'm Alejandro. You can call me Alex. It's easier for English speakers. So I'm Alex. I'm 22 and I'm from Spain. I've been living here all my life, and I don't know. I just have a passion for video games and movies and CG since I can remember, I guess. So, yeah.
Nah, that's awesome. Because it's like, that's amazing. Because like obviously when it comes to the podcast, it's all about like just everything possible. And I want to like help as much people as possible as I can. And the great thing about Alex is obviously he's a character artist. And by gosh, does he make great artwork. So, obviously, one of the main things I want to talk to Alex about is actually your LEP, so it'll be super dope to talk about that, man. And talk about, obviously, student education as well. And
Sure.
Obviously, you work as well at Polygonal Mind, which is great. But as always, man, I always like to talk about like student education and stuff. So I'm just wondering, like, what was it like studying at the education that you went to?
So I've never been to university or anything.
Cool.
Like I've been searching for a better term because Spanish education it's different from US or the UK or whatever. So I think it's equivalent to a higher degree or not really uni or college.
Okay.
But it's something to transition between high school and uni, and it's usually something more practical, like I don't know, to become an electrician or to become a carpenter. It was created for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But recently it has implemented like TV cameraman or 3D video game artist or something like that. So that's cool. It's equivalent to a community college, I've been told, in the US.
Right.
So it's like a 2-year course instead of a 4-year uni or college or whatever. It's 2 years, and yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's about it.
So like when it comes to like I guess Spain in general, like, so I have a few good friends from Spain. One of my friends, Fran, he actually moved back to Spain. I think 2 years ago. We used to go to college together. What's it like education wise in Spain? Is there like much schools, as in like is there any like 3D schools in Spain? Because I'm not actually aware of any.
Okay, so I don't wanna get too political. Like there's a lot of stuff that I think personally it's pretty bad with Spain, but
Okay.
I can't really blame other stuff like there's free public healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
and there's public education, and there's I don't know, it's pretty alright in that sense.
Awesome.
But yeah, there are some specific colleges or online courses like Animum 3D.
Oh, right.
Animum,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, or there are some universities like the Barcelona and the Bilbao and the Madrid ones like
Okay.
that hold a higher degree in college in university, 4 years of game dev stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I guess there's fine arts and stuff too, like not really related to video games, but
Yeah.
for a character artist, knowing how to, I don't know, the body anatomy and the figure drawing and stuff. So
Nah, that's great. So, like, obviously, like that's the thing as well. Like when it comes to like the podcasts, like I bring on people from like everywhere, and like for example, one of my previous guests, he lived in Brazil, and he started his education over there, Rafael, and he's living in Italy at the moment, and like he was telling me about like what the education system was that like over there, and that like they didn't really have that much going on. And it'd be great if obviously all these places, like obviously some places, obviously like you said, it depends on like the city and stuff, like obviously
yeah,
the population size as well, and like every place is kind of different. Like for example, me in Scotland, like Scotland's really small. Like there's only like
yeah.
5 million of us, or 4.9 million of us. We're a really small country, but no, that's really awesome. And then like the good thing, I guess, as well for you, I guess a lot of it was self learning, I assume.
Yeah, so the course itself, it covered everything. So imagine the normal courses in uni,
Mm-hmm.
like for 4 or 5 years, it covers from concept art to anatomy to composition to lighting to. We even had to code in PHP for web stuff, like
Right.
and not really related to 3D to video games and stuff, but it was shoved into the program, so we had to do
Yeah.
it anyway. So it was pretty crazy. Like yeah, we had to do everything.
Yeah.
So self learning, it has been a really important part of my these late 2 years or yeah 2 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been so
No, that's good because at the end of the day, it's like every guest I've brought on, a lot of them have had to kind of like change things up, or they've had to approach it through the self learning. Like even
yeah
myself, when like to be honest, like so I've said it a few times in the podcast. Like for me, like when it came to like getting better at 3D, like obviously it was down to myself. Like I had to learn the 3D side of things, and I guess like obviously like for example the university I went to, like I loved it. It was great, but a lot of the real big improvements came from just self practice, and
yeah.
like I guess for you, like the main question, I guess, like what got you into character? Like when did that become a thing?
Like okay, so you know how many people can pinpoint a point in their lives where an audiovisual piece changed the way they saw it. Like
Mm-hmm.
for example, a lot of people from my generation say it's Half-Life,
Mm-hmm.
with how it approached narrative stuff in video games, or I don't know, or a movie, or so it was The Last of Us for me, the Naughty Dog game in 2013,
Yeah.
and it really shocked me what some pixels on a screen could make me feel,
Yeah.
and I really wanted to to do something like that someday.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've been playing games since I've been little. Like I started playing games in my dad's lap when
Yeah.
I was 3
Awesome.
with the PS1. So, and I don't know, I this is gonna be so corny, but my teenage years
Mm-hmm.
weren't very cool. Like people around me at school and stuff were very harsh. So video games were a very big part of my teenage years,
Okay.
and I kind of feel in depth with the devs that make those games that made me feel better. So I wanna be part of somebody else's life in that way.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It's like how you
Like
connected with the world through that.
yeah, with other people, especially like how you can make another person feel better, or feel something else that whatever is going on in their lives for a little bit of time, for
Yeah.
a short time. So that's awesome.
No,
I love it.
no, that's great. Like, I'm really glad that you said that and opened up with that, because that's super cool. Because there's a lot of people, I guarantee you, pretty much almost everybody who's listening to the podcast right now have like some sort of story around, or have like something similar to that, as in like gaming was like their thing, and like for me it was very different growing up. So like for me, sport was my thing. So like everyone knows the story. If you don't know yet, like it was Tintin that got me into 3D.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could talk about Tintin. I love Tintin. I could talk about it non-stop. But yeah, it was like everyone has like their kind of their different take. And like for me, it was always sport. And then like I loved games as well. Like I played a lot of games. Like for me, like my childhood was very like Jack and Daxter orientated.
Oh yeah, totally. Like
Such a good game.
Ratchet and Clank exploration, platforming. Yeah.
Oh my god, the best games ever. Ratchet and Clank, can talk about that for ages. And then I'm trying to think, what other games was it that were really good? What else did I play? No, like
I don't know, Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo 64.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
And then
I've really loved platforming games for a long time, and collectathons and stuff. So yeah.
They're so rewarding. Right.
Yeah.
So carrying on this sort of idea of what you said there about The Last of Us, I think it'd be so cool if we just went straight into The Last of Us piece that you made, because
sure.
So this is the interesting thing as well that Alex said to me at the start before we even kicked off. He's like, because I was talking to him about his portfolio, and he was like, I only got one piece of my portfolio, and I was like, it doesn't matter. That one piece is badass. Like that's a super cool piece of art. Everyone who's listening, by the way, all 1,800 of you, go give him a follow. Go check out his work. You'll see his Twitter and so forth highlighted on screen right now. So trust me, like this art piece is exceptional. Like this is a really great character piece, and it's not like he doesn't just show like an image. He shows his full breakdown, like his hair, his low poly, his process with like his alphas and his textures, etc. You name it, he's literally fully gone into depth to like where it all began, etc. And it's a really cool piece to check out. And that's the thing as well, like when it comes to like jobs as well, like sometimes it only takes one piece to get you noticed. And that's why when it comes to like art, you just have to take your time. Like a lot of people kind of sometimes rush it. But before we go into all that kind of stuff in depth, just tell us a wee bit about the piece. It'd be great.
Sure. So can I mention how I got my job, because that's previous to having that piece in my folio. So I kind of forgot to say it before. So when you finish with everything, when you pass every subject in the course, there's an internship program that you can work in any company of the zone for like 3 months or so. Okay. And yeah, so I did the interview, and I got the internship. So I stayed at Polygonal Mind for those 3 months, and they liked me, so I stayed. I've been employed one year now for them. Awesome. Just recently passed the year mark, and I'm so happy to be around those people. Great. Who make me, I don't know, improve, and they are super positive. Like when I arrived there, I was super negative and stuff, and I looking back, I can't believe how much I've changed this past year. Like in the positivity and stuff, and looking forward to things. So good. Like it's helped you grow just overall as an artist, and you've kind of found your that's good. And not only as an artist and as a professional, but as a person, because I don't know, I'm very introverted. Like I'm not asocial. I can talk to people and it's alright. But when I'm surrounded with a lot of people, I kind of, I don't know, get anxious and need some time after to get my energy back a couple of days after. And I don't know, being surrounded with people, having a routine, having to go to the office every day, having to defend some ideas, or why did you do something, and really believing in what you do. It really boosted my confidence. So it was super good working with people, with talented people. So no, like you named like so many amazing points, and like
like that's what it's all about. Like it's all about like at the end of the day, like obviously like we can all strive to get better at art, but at the end of the day, it's you as a person about growing as an individual. Like that's the thing that counts the most. And like you said, like through your practice of art, working with these people, you've not only improved, but most importantly, mentally, you've got a lot better. And
Yeah.
like when it comes to art, like there's so many artists. Like when I was in uni, like I've mentioned it a few times about myself as well. So I went through like a certain emotional like state in which I was trying to figure out how to deal with social anxiety as well. And
Oh yeah.
with me, like I've always like I don't know, I'm a very energetic kind of person, so it's like I kind of like I just like talking's my comfort zone. I could just talk forever. But it's like you always just have to find a way to like kind of like just help put yourself in the right direction, like find that right mindset, find the things that help you. Like for example, with me it's sport. Sometimes like for example shooting people in blackout, playing Call of Duty, that's what I do. That's my main game at the moment. And like that's my super chill. Or going to the gym. Like it's all these small things that you do on a daily basis that help you grow. No, but that's thanks for sharing that, man, because that was super important to hear.
No, it's alright. It's gonna be a super intimate and corny podcast, but I guess I mean
Nothing
the
wrong
main
with that. That is perfect.
no, yeah, I know. So the main thing, you always think you're alone, or you only you feel that way sometimes when you're a student, or and it's totally not like we, I don't know, we all feel that way sometimes, and
Yeah.
everybody gets through, or if you don't, you seek professional help, and it can be overcome one way or another. But yeah, so the blackout thing you said, I can't really put myself to play games after work because I come home mentally drained.
Okay.
So I just found Beat Saber a month ago or so, and I got a headset. So I've been playing Beat Saber for the past month and working out. So trying to be healthier too at the same time while listening to some badass music, and I don't know, it's been my thing lately. So yeah.
No, that's cool. So like obviously like we were saying about the Ellie piece, like I guess it'd be cool just tell us to like what I assume you made it because obviously that passion for The Last of Us, etc.
Yeah. So okay, it's gonna be a bit long. So okay, I've really had this problematic phase, which consisted in losing motivation to finish pieces I started. So I really had to sit down and say I've been working for almost 6 months in this company, and I still don't have anything in my portfolio that I think reflects my current actual level, like current level. So I really had to sit down and think on some project that I'd really liked, and that I could keep doing after many months. Because as I told you, I've been working for a full time for a lot of time, like 1 year now, and I come home super tired after work, and doing more 3D after you've been 8 hours doing 3D. It's really mentally draining. So it's taken a while to finish the piece. I don't know if I should say it because I don't think it looks good.
What do you mean, like saying how long it takes?
Yeah, but it took me almost a year to finish it.
That's fine. That's
because sometimes I just spent whole weeks without touching it because I really couldn't put myself to it, and I didn't really want to force it. And I think it's why it came out so good, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I really think I could do better in some places, but I really had to get to a point where I'd say it's good enough and put it up.
No, but that's the thing.
So
it doesn't. Sorry to cut you off. But
no. It's okay.
I think like the fact that it took you a year, like that's not a problem at all. Like that's the thing. I think when it comes to art, a lot of people have kind of forgotten. So, for example, a lot of my favorite artists are people that are like the true masters. They're like people who have been dead for years, like thousands of years, or like whatever years, like Michelangelo, etc. Like Monet, like all these masters of crafts. Like a lot of these people took ages to make a proper piece of art. And I get it, like we're all obviously trying to race to get to a job and stuff, or get into a game, trying to get into film. But at the end of the day, it should purely be based around pleasure and enjoyment. Like, you should be making an art piece, taking the time to do it the right way, and make sure that it gives you like that sense of fulfillment. And
Yeah,
like that's the thing that matters. Like, everyone who's listening in, like, everyone knows every time I mention the train piece, like, that took me 6 to 7 months to make. And
exactly.
I finished it the way that I wanted to finish it. And like, that's the same for you. And like, that's why I said it looks so awesome. Like, I don't care about how long it took, because at the end of the day, it is epic. Like, it is so good.
I mean, yeah, it's what everyone in the industry says, right? Like, it shouldn't take you like 1 year or 6 months to finish something. But if you're not really sure on your workflow and the thing is, I took this project as a masterpiece, so to say. So I've been repeating steps, trying different workflows, and trying different alphas for the skin or different texturing techniques and stuff. I've redone the hair, for example, 4 times, because I really didn't feel it was up to par with the face or with the eyes, for example, and I was really just trying to find my comfortable workflow, or what worked for me, because I've just been doing 3D for 3 years in total.
Wow,
Like,
right, awesome.
the two I've been studying and the one I've been working. So I really don't have an art background, so I don't know really anatomy. I've took courses and stuff, and I've studied anatomy, and I got books and stuff, but I don't really have an art background. So it's the self-learning component. It's really there for me. Like, I really try to just have an ideal result in mind, and trying to get there, and just watching different people's tutorials, and if that doesn't work, just try something else until you get to the point that you wanted, or close at least, because I really wanted to replicate the work of some people that have been in the industry for 20 years or 15 years, like Frank Seng or Soa Lee, the people who did the original Ellie model at Naughty Dog. I don't know, they are so good, but they have so many years of work and stuff in their backs. That's that crack. So I'm just trying to have fun. The first that's the priority, and learn at the same time. So there's many people that say that I shouldn't have done this, and I should have done, for example, 10 heads or 20 heads to practice anatomy and stuff. And I guess you can improve that way, but if you really feel like you have some vision in your mind, like you aren't going to reinvent the wheel. Like, I've been living for 22 years. I can be smarter than people that have been that exact same time in the industry. They are a lot wiser than I am. But I don't know. I felt that just getting my hands on and trying different stuff and seeing by my own eyes what didn't work, instead of just accepting what everyone else was saying, was a good thing. Maybe it wasn't. We'll see. But at the end, there's something in my portfolio under my name, which I'm proud of making, which is usually pretty rare.
Right. No, that's the thing. Like, I think you've done it the best way possible. So, like, you've done it the way I would have done it. Like generally, like, I never understood this. I say it so many times. So many people have this sort of idea, or they put so much pressure on themselves, and I'm just like, just relax, enjoy it. Like, so when I was in uni, I worked myself to a limit that, no joke, that I think not many people could work, because it was nowhere near healthy. I had this insane obsession. So one of my favorite like people I always looked up to was a guy called Kobe Bryant. He's a basketball player, and I was just like, for some reason in my head, I was like, right, I need to work as like this guy. And this guy was like 4.5 hours sleep every day. He like, all he did was, like, he would wake up every morning, 4:30 in the gym, shooting hoops non-stop, and he would have 6 sessions in the gym every day for like 20 years straight. Like, this guy was insane. And it was just like, I had in my head, for some crazy reason, right, let's try and imitate that. And end of the day, like it's great to work hard and stuff, and I get it, but I think personally it should always be about enjoyment first, and then obviously like trust that time will give you the quality. Like there shouldn't be a pressure to how long things take. Like I get it. Like so a lot of people keep bringing up like, oh, how long did it take you to make? And I'm like, 7 months. Does it look okay? Yeah. Well then, great. Then I've done my job.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly. So, sorry for cutting you off.
on you go.
Okay. So, yeah, I think it would be it would have been a very different situation for myself if I didn't have a job and I really wanted one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but having that constant income of money, and knowing you have something somewhere to sleep at night, and knowing you just can take it slow and get the results you exactly wanted or super close.
Yeah.
And I don't know that, like I get how can I put this? Like I get doing 20 faces, for example, in 2 months would have made me learn face anatomy a lot quicker,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have improved on that field. But maybe it would have taken me another 2 months to get something looking right for hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only downside of making it the way I did it, it's that I don't have many stuff to show.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
so I don't have 10 different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I just have one really good one. So I think that's the main downside of having this masterpiece project, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So there were times that I became so depressed because I couldn't get to the level I expected.
Mm-hmm.
And I just let the project rest, watch some tutorials and stuff. So the process was watching the references and looking at them, analyzing them, doing paint overs, then trying to replicate that. If that didn't work, instead of just keep doing the same stuff you are doing wrong, like
Yeah.
what, just watch tutorials or study the stuff and then try again with the same previous knowledge of the same piece you've been trying to do. So, for example, imagine I'm trying to analyze 10 heads
Mm-hmm.
and doing paint overs of the skull. Everyone has a different skull.
Yeah.
Like in the head, the bones in the head, the skull of everything of everyone, it's different. And when you've put 2 weeks of analyzing some characters or the same person's facial features or whatever, you have a pretty a better understanding of that when you've been looking at some references for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I just kept changing the references, I couldn't have really picked up on the subtleties I wanted to put on my piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's different. Like everyone else's path to get to the level they want, it's different.
Yeah.
I'm not advising anyone to take this same route. I just think it worked for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. So like obviously every time on the podcast, like everyone has their different take, their different story. Like there's different ways of doing things. Like for example, like the fame. I'm not sure if it's slightly changed, but it's like that famous quote about like a picture can say tell 1,000 words. Like everyone visualizes something different. Everyone sees things differently. But like obviously, like when it comes to character art, like there's so many great things that you can do to obviously speed up your production. But obviously, like it's getting a balance between pleasure and then I guess identifying what you want out of it. Like so if you're trying to get like a job, like say take Naughty Dog for instance. Like say you're aiming to get to Naughty Dog, like that's the goal, and they're looking for a certain range. Then obviously you're gonna have to highlight that range. But then again, I wouldn't rush it. I would do it the way that you think is most comfortable for you, and do it to the standard that obviously they require. And that's when you start comparing and contrasting your portfolio. Like I think like the piece, like I'm no expert at character art, but like that character piece that you've done, like that's like that alone stands up. Like that's at the right standard based off my eyes. It's just down to getting, like you said, getting a bit more of them, if you know what I mean. And it's you know what I mean. It's just
Thank you, man. So I don't know. It's weird because So I guess I get it. This is an industry, and stuff has to be put out. Like
Yeah,
there needs to be content coming out, and you can't really spend 1 year in a bust of one character in a
exactly.
production.
Yeah,
But when you've just been doing 3D for 3 years and you aren't really confident on your skills, on your or your or in your workflow or in your software knowledge, or I don't know, I just took this time to learn everything and mashed all that stuff together. So
yeah.
I wanted to pick up Substance Painter,
Okay.
and I spent 2 weeks painting Ellie's textures and
Mhm.
then put it in the engine, then made the hair, it was looking good, then put the eyes, and the eyes were so good and everything else wasn't up to level. So I
Mhm.
had to re-sculpt, repaint the textures, and then the eyes and the face were at the same level, but the
Mhm.
hair wasn't. So I've been just remaking the same stuff a lot of times, and I think I really got a grasp on these characters'
Awesome.
specificities.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. I really want to change it up now and
Okay.
do for example, an old black man, for example,
Okay.
just so not just doing young white girls, for example, because I don't want to just be niche
Okay.
or stuff. I want to have some diversity in my portfolio and show I can do different stuff. But I think, yeah, everyone says that it's quality over quantity, and I know that the place I will learn the most is when I get in a big studio
Mhm.
and I make this however I think it should be done, and then the lead comes in and says, no, that shouldn't be done that way, or and they teach you, because you can't really learn that much unless you have infinite money for mentorships and stuff from people in the industry, for insiders,
Yep.
from insiders. And I don't think, I don't know, I think I did the correct thing in my case, because having that job in my back. But yeah, it would have been a very different case scenario if I didn't have a job and I really wanted one.
So
I really wouldn't have spent so much time, and I would have put out like 3 4 pieces, but they would be more mediocre, but on the same level of quality.
yeah.
So it could show some consistency.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I felt that I needed to first be confident about myself, my skills, my, I don't know, feel like I was capable of achieving something
Mhm.
before really having to show off or having a portfolio for a job again in a bigger studio or whatever.
Yeah.
So
No, that's
I I,
awesome.
I don't know.
I,
I've been really trying to work this last year in my soft skills,
mhm.
because they are a pretty important part of having a job.
Yeah, they go a long
So
way. It's
yeah, it's not only about the art. Like I feel everyone is so focused on making the art and not really on themselves.
mhm.
Like I don't know.
It's no no.
This is getting too out of hand.
No, no,
Sorry.
it's cool. It is not a problem at all. Like you saying all that's amazing because like it's at the end of the day, like I keep bringing up, it's what it's important to hear. It's all these different things and like for example, like you said, soft skills. Like there's a lot of people out there that who are still trying to obviously learn like the small things. Like for example, the one of the big common ones that I like to bring up is the ability to just do a like for example, if you are studying at college or university, is the skill of being able to do a presentation. Like this is one that
Yeah.
I value a lot. But it's not in the sense that like I don't put any pressure on anyone, but like for example, if I was to teach somebody how to get comfortable themselves, like there'd be like a lot of things like I would lots of ways that like how could I say this? Like I think I would be like I would love to teach how to get people more confident. Like when it comes to like talking and stuff, like it's such an important skill. And but the main thing I always start off with is like being yourself. Like I understand a lot of people get nervous or they get a bit they feel like they're under pressure and they apply as well when they're doing the artwork. Like maybe they see like they're surrounded by a lot of talent and they think, oh, maybe I'm not at that level. Whereas I've always like think like one of the best things to learn is being patient and just trusting in time and trusting practice and repetition. And like if you are a bit shy, like maybe you're listening to right now and you're thinking, right, I've got a presentation at college or uni soon, and the thing is, just give it a go. And it doesn't matter if you stutter, it doesn't matter whatever. Like this is actually the best tip I can give you. So every time I did a presentation or was asked to do a presentation just to help improve my skills, I would always go first. Just go up there and be the first person to do it, because once you do that, you don't have to wait another hour for everyone else to go. So every time I did a presentation, I would always go first. Like speaking of like soft skills and stuff, or just like college and just studying in general, when it comes to, I guess, character art, is there anything like we can cover the two if that's okay? It'd be really cool to cover the two.
Sure.
When it comes to character art, if you had to kind of go back to the beginning, what would you say would be like, or what have you learned was the most rewarding? Like, what was the best thing that helped you get better as a character artist?
I think the most important thing
Mm-hmm.
it's networking, and not only networking. It's been meeting people that are passionate.
Yeah.
I don't know about the same stuff you are,
Okay.
that are way ahead of you, and that you can quote unquote leech on their back. Not really like trying to take advantage of them, like just being friends and really being interested in their workflows and seeing how they do stuff and support them, and they will support you. And I don't know. So do you know the YouTube channel Flip Normals?
I've heard, I need to look into this because everyone keeps bringing it up and I've not looked into
Yeah.
it. So right. Yeah.
So
awesome.
so they have they are Henning and Morten. Sorry, they've been in the industry for a very long time, in the VFX industry, and they've worked in movies like Transformers and stuff, really big movies.
Mhm.
And they have a YouTube channel with tutorials and stuff. But the most important part of their work, in my opinion, it's their Discord server.
Mhm.
Like the amount of amazing people I've met there, and that have helped me not only with feedback, but when you feel down and you post there like what a shitty day, and they try to cheer you up. Or I don't know, like I really tend to shit on myself, like shit on my work and undermine my, like cutting myself short.
Okay.
I think that's something inherent to artists. I don't know. We are our worst judges.
Yeah. True.
So I don't know. It has really been amazing to see people saying stop saying that,
Mhm.
and just I don't know, try to see the good,
Just to find the positive.
the good, the good part of your piece instead of focusing in the bad part.
Yeah.
In the bad part. And I don't know. That's what I was referring to, the soft skills.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It isn't really good for a team when you are there and you are like, my job sucks and I don't know how to do this and I suck. I'm so bad. It really isn't bad. So
Mhm.
really trying to put down that voice that it's always on your shoulder and saying this should be done better. And these people in the Discord server have really helped me. And I don't know, just seeing the support, and not only that, just the daily little chit chats
Yeah.
with them. Like they are super cool people. Every morning there's like 10 messages of different people saying good morning, good morning, good morning. Like it was a common space with everyone. And we have how do you say,
Like internships or young.
no, internal jokes, like
Oh right. Okay. I was completely off.
yeah, and memes and stuff. So it's really a great community, and I think that's that's what has helped me the most.
Yeah.
I can send you some pics of November and December of how my project was, which
Yeah,
is
that'd be
when
great. Awesome.
which is when I joined the server, and they can compare them with the final post,
Mhm.
and they can see how being in that server for 6 months has improved my art.
Mhm.
Because the only thing I've done to improve my art, it's just training my visual perception skills, like that's another important part of art, not just sculpting, but being able to notice something in reference or in references or in anatomy or and yeah, I've been focusing on that and then just putting the work to make this piece. And I think that's been the game changer for me. I don't think I would have put out the piece I have if I wasn't in those Discord servers.
Yeah.
There's the Polycount one, there's the Glauco Longi one.
Oh,
which
he's
is
a
another,
legend. Oh,
yeah,
he's
so
one of my favorite artists.
I would just say find people that love the same stuff that you love, that you know when you say, guys, it's time to get serious. Give me some good feedback on this. Like
Yeah. I'm happy you said that.
That you can
great.
rely on them, because when you ask your parents or your relatives or your friends or whatever, they you always feel that they have this that they must say it looks good
Yeah.
no matter what. And I don't know, it's weird. I think that as a parent,
I agree. Like they're always it's always the very positive sort of like they naturally have to say positive because they can't. It doesn't click in their head. I don't think. Like to say to say the negative. It depends.
I've actually tricked my parents sometimes, like telling them, look, this is so cool, and they are like, it doesn't really look good, and it was a piece of mine.
Right. Okay.
But if I have gone them in the first place saying, look what I did, what do you think, what could I fix, what looks wrong, they wouldn't have told me.
Yeah.
You know, because they have this, like, they must tell me it's good even if it isn't, just to make me feel good. And sometimes you need a shower of reality.
Yeah.
And having that backup of people that you know they have an artistic eye too, and they have put out the work, and they study anatomy too, and they, I don't know, being surrounded with people of every level, like I say, Henning and Morten working on the VFX industry, and just people that are starting out, that join the server, like, I don't know, seeing other people grow and asking them how did they do something, for example, the hair, or how they like the scene, or I don't know. I'm 99% sure I improved so fast because of the people I've stayed close to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's this is an awesome podcast. I'm living this. This is brilliant. So it's all about like everyone says it all the time. It's like who you surround yourself by. It can like, for example, it can make or break a lot of things. And like for example, like no matter what you do in life, like there's so many people out there that you can grow as an artist or grow as a person. Like if you want to get better at cooking, there's tons of people out there who can help you get better at cooking. Like there's so many things to take advantage of, and like what Alex is saying here is like it'll be cool if you're okay to share some of the links. I can share them with the people at the end.
Sure.
In the description alongside Alex's work, so make sure once again to go check out Alex's work. That'll be much appreciated. So do that, and it's all about like just, I guess, like, asking questions all the time, being open to give good feedback. Like there's
Sorry.
It's alright. I was just gonna say, like, there's like, when it comes to feedback, the biggest thing about feedback, please don't like ambush someone saying that it's dreadful, because that doesn't help anybody. It's you have to be constructive and honest, and then also have like a touch of like positivity as well. Like there has to be a balance in between. But yeah, fire away whatever you're gonna say. That's cool.
Yeah, there's this technique called the feedback sandwich.
Feedback
I don't know
sandwich.
if you yeah,
This
I don't
is
know
the first time I've heard
you
of
know.
it, but go with it. We'll go with that.
So when you give feedback to other people, you, instead of saying this sucks, change this and go wherever you were going, just try to say something nice first you like about the piece, then what you would change, and then something nice again. So
Agree.
So the thing is, when everyone knows this, when you know this, you can notice the pattern on other people's feedbacks. So when you have some really close friends, you don't beat the bush around too much. Like you just straight say, what's wrong or what should be changed. But you really need to have that confidence with the other people
Mm-hmm.
or person or group or whatever, to know that you are not cheating on the person,
Mm-hmm.
or even in the work. Like it's just trying to help them, and you can even be wrong about the feedback you give.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's really important to surround yourself with people you believe are going to be doing good for yourself, and that you can see doing something for them. Like
Yeah.
help people. Like everyone has a place where they started out and they asked on Polycount for feedback, and they didn't get any response in the thread. And yeah, I know how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't visit Polycount, the forum, too much, because I don't know, some asshole gave me an answer to a post question that didn't really go away with the thread and just attacked me instead. And now that same person is on some of the servers I'm on in Discord, trying to give mentorships, and I'm like, no.
Right.
If only you knew, like,
Yeah.
a whole part of my small career for now, it's just in spite of some people, like trying to prove them wrong and
Right.
trying to prove myself not right, but like I'm capable of.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, just be nice to people. Like we've all been there, like not knowing where to start and not knowing. You usually go to Polycount and ask for feedback because you don't even know in the first place where to start looking. Because if you knew your anatomy was wrong, you would just look for tutorials or courses.
Yeah.
So you realize something's wrong, but you can't pinpoint what, because your eye and your brain isn't
doesn't
just
click.
trained yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you need the support of people. For people like me, that don't have any art background, I don't know. It was really hard to see the mistakes, but I was really capable of seeing something was wrong, but I didn't know what was.
Yeah.
And it was through this human connection with other people that are more advanced than you, or not even really. Maybe someone that just started in 3D but was a medical forensic doctor, for example, that knows more anatomy than you,
That's a good one.
can tell you, like, for real, man. It's all about the human connection and sharing stuff. And I plan on doing some tutorials or sharing my process or something like that in the future,
That'd be
because really this is all about the human connection. And yeah, I don't think, yeah, tutorials help you a bunch, but it's the people you sit next to,
and you meet and
which
talk
really, yeah, which really motivate you to keep going every day and giving feedback and constantly on the same piece. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's just
you've covered that perfectly, and
I think, like,
it's
I
the
think I'm
honesty as
beating-
well. It's like that's
I think
amazing.
I'm beating the bush around too much, but
It's
yeah.
it's alright. It's not a problem at all. Like when it comes to just like the industry in general, like that's what, like, feedback to me, it's one of the important ones. Like you have to say things in the right way. Like I understand that you have to be, like, you also have to have the ability to accept failure. Like that's an honest one. Like you have to accept that you're not going to be perfect. So if someone is telling you that something is wrong, then hold your chin up, go forward and work on it. Don't go, oh, he's trying to instantly, like, put me down. Obviously it depends on how they word it. Obviously I completely understand that part. Like everyone has that
Yep.
like there's some people who maybe aren't the greatest with words, and you have the famous online warriors who think they're I don't know, they're just crazy with their word choice. Where not all of them would say it in person, I'm pretty sure. But
I mean, this man I talked before from the Polycount forum, it wasn't even about the wording, because if he had said something like, your anatomy around the orbital is wrong, try to focus on that.
Like, that'd be good. That'd be great
Yeah,
feedback. That'd be great.
like your PC is shit. You can start looking here, or if it was some valuable, but it was something like, I'd like to see you in 10 years from now and see how low in the quality level you are, something like that. And
Wow,
it was
right,
super
okay.
unrelated to the
Yeah.
feedback I was asking to, and I was
Exactly.
like,
Why?
just why? So
Yeah, it's not required.
yeah, no. Just
It's
be nice to
crazy.
people, and if you can't be nice to people or help them, just
Don't say anything.
don't. Yeah, exactly.
Keep it simple. Just don't say anything.
If someone is asking for for feedback in the first place, it's because they know they have something wrong. So
Yeah, exactly.
just
No, that's great. Like I'm really glad because we went into so much things in depth, and it's really good to just hear like just the honest your insight to it and like your path and stuff. That's been really good. The great thing about this podcast as well, it's been very like, it's been different. Like normally I always talk about student education really in depth, but you've really gone into like the really important stuff, and that's really helped, and that's been really important. Everyone who's tuning in, once again, make sure to give Alex a follow and appreciate the guy's work. It's I'll keep saying it because I do respect the guy. The guy is making killer work, and
thank you so much.
anytime, man. You're more than welcome to come back on again in the future. It's always open to you. Anyone who's listening, don't forget to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. It'll be much appreciated if you select the notification bell at the top to notify you every week of the podcast, etc. We've got another podcast this week, and then we've got 4 podcasts next week. So lots of guests coming on, all different ranges, all different areas of the game industry and film industry. So I'm looking forward to that. But till next time, we will see you later. Bye for now.